Well, here's to a new year, my friends, and new subscribers, or rather thank you for listening in the first place. You see that stack of papers behind me there? These are all articles I would love to read to you in the upcoming year, because they're not at all outdated. What is outdated basically is the notion that our government is actually acting in our interests anymore. You know, the mainstream media, of course, can't even be taken seriously to begin with at this point. But this is also pretty much going on at some of the blogs or vlogs or whatever on the internet. And you know, the technologies are merging because cable television is merging with the internet and so on. Well, I'm sure you've heard all about it. And if you haven't, please look it up in terms of the newest legislation coming out of the FCC. That's the Federal Communications Commission. This said, you know, it is absolutely amazing to me how after 8 years of the Bush-Cheney regime in this country, that people cannot see at this point when the lies end and when they begin again. This goes way beyond partisan politics here, folks. It goes way beyond this. I can look at the yesterday, actually, I think it was New Year's, I looked at the DCO's site, you know, Daily Kos, which is a liberal blog dedicated to basically getting Democrats into office. That's essentially its premise, or was its premise from the start. And its founder being Marcus Militsias. And that's all nice and fine, but and Militsias actually stood against the Senate bill in terms of this ridiculous Senate bill in terms of health care. So kudos for that, Marcos. At least you did that much. That's a great thing. On the other hand, some of the commenters on that site are just so enamored of political figures. You know, it's almost like a replay of Bush. It's like now that some new person has got elected into office as president, the kind of adoration and adulation paid to this particular figure is almost beyond belief. It is precisely as if Bush and Cheney were still in office, you know. We have diaries on this website that are essentially, they're billboards for Obama, and they're visual billboards, I might say, you know, repeating every piece of rhetoric as if you had a billboard across the entire highway saying, this is it. We should love our leader. I mean, this is as idiotic as, it's exactly as idiotic as the Bush supporters and Cheney supporters were during the reign of Bush and Cheney. There's absolutely no difference whatsoever. The independent capacity for thinking seems to have been taken a nosedive since Bush and Cheney came into office. And everything now needs to follow that model, evidently. our leaders should not be questioned. And I do have to give credit to DCOS, to the DCOS site to some degree, because they do have dissenting articles still on there. They're not recommended articles for the most part, but there are dissenting opinions still on there, which probably would agree more with my standpoint at this point, namely that you cannot have politicians in office which are beyond questioning from the populace. Now, what we have here is another ratcheting up ratcheting up of fear and terror, and this under a democratic Congress, basically, the exact modus operandi. So, nothing much has changed. And as much as anybody was hoping for change, you need to see the actual legislation. What is going on in Congress? What this administration is supporting, namely another bailout for Wall Street. And this came across during the Christmas holiday, completely under the radar screen for most people. And then we are to believe that this Democratic Congress is actually standing up for the people, you and me. I mean, it's not that Republicans are any better. In fact, they're probably much worse. But this said, the illusions need to be broken here. Because there's nobody standing up for ordinary citizens anymore. The big lobbyists and the corporations have won everything to this point. Everything. And they're winning again. There was legislation passed on Christmas Eve which gives corporations and the financial industry even more leeway to keep gambling with our money while socializing the losses. Basically putting the losses onto all of us taxpayers if something ever goes wrong. Of course, they tell us now, well, listen, nothing is ever going to go wrong again, right? Wall Street is up a few thousand points by now. Don't worry, you've got nothing to worry about. Just trust us. And while you're at it, maybe Obama is going to suggest that privatization of Social Security might also be a good idea. If people haven't figured out by now that there is a divide between those of the upper echelons living on K Street and Wall Street and the rest of us 90% down below, then you haven't been paying attention. So I'll post another video tonight, hopefully, regarding the what I call the Fruit of the Loom bomber, regarding this airline incident. But I'll have to take a little break for right now, and I'll get back later. Thanks for listening.